Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Chisme. This is Jaylee, one of your hosts, and I'm here with Mr. Albert. How are you, Alps?
Hey, what's up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. And like Jay said, this is another episode. As you can see, those of you that are watching with your ojitos, I have teleported to a cemetery full of
Mhm.
pumpkins and bats. So I'm ready for the holidays. How are you?
Yes,
Are you ready?
I am really ready. I'm excited. I told you we're having our Halloween party, which I'm
Yes.
excited for, but I'm also nervous for because I've never hosted a Halloween party. And
Really?
so I'm trying to make it very like kid friendly because the kids are, going to be here and I
Yeah.
don't think we're trick or treating because of COVID. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I remember when I lived alone, I used to host like Halloween parties all the time. Like
Really.
I love hosting a party, but now again, like you said, COVID and like I don't know, like it's just like it's weird, like just having like a bunch of people. And I'm like, are these people that I really care to have, or am I just having
Hmm.
people around, like I
Yeah.
don't know. But like I really want to go back to having parties, like hopefully next Halloween COVID is not as bad or like it's like tamed. And so like I could like rent a venue and like
Yeah.
have a party because I'm all about a good theme. Like you remember my birthday with like
Hmm.
the coven, like we even shot a
Yeah.
trailer for it, like a trailer invitation. And then like it was like that was like probably one of my most favorite like
Yeah.
parties. But I've had so many like epic parties. Like we're always like, oh, your parties, your parties. I'm like, yeah, I haven't really had a party like that in a while.
Yeah, since
So
COVID, because it's so hard to, but
I
I
think
agree.
my birthday, I think, right, was the last party we had.
I think so too. That
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I think so.
So,
Yeah.
and that wasn't a theme party either. It was just like a hey, come over. But
Yeah.
I
But
prefer
it's
to
been
get
a
theme.
while. Yeah. So anything new going on with you?
Girl. So like I've been working on this podcast on the side project called Queer Fears. I teamed up with actually two of our former guests,
Hmm.
Alexandria Carr. She was on our Cool Cats and Kittens episode, I think. And then Giselle Monet, aka Jizzy, aka Philip, was on an episode. I don't remember what that one was called. But actually, funny thing was, it was like the first and last episode we shot in person with a guest
Was it?
uh, before COVID.
Oh my gosh.
Meg Rafford has been our only guest after that
Yeah.
that was in person. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'm
I it's
crazy.
crazy to think about that, And so we teamed up. You know me, I'm always thinking about like crazy shit. And I was like, actually, I think I talked to you about it too. And I
Hmm.
was like, I want to create like some short stories or Halloween scripts and
Yeah.
make a horror like anthology podcast with queer characters. And so then like I know you're like ridiculously busy. So then they were like, yeah, let's do it. And honestly, it's been the most fun process ever. We've been casting pretty late nights,
Yeah.
casting. We've recorded 2 episodes. We've had our actors. Um, y'all follow us on Queer Fears 405 on Instagram. It is going to be so legit. Like I wrote 2 scripts for it, and like we've only recorded one, and like one of mine, and it is crazy to see my baby come to life. Like
Yeah.
and so like I think we're gonna try to do this as like every season. So like Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, and so like I've already written a story about like a Christmas horror story with
Yeah.
like a non-binary character. So like I love it and it's so much fun. I love horror and this is just like that next level. And these two are ridiculously creative. They're writers already. So
Yeah. You've got,
we're
I think it's a great team that you like put together. I mean, I think all of you are so experienced in different ways. And I saw some pictures of the people that were there and I was like, that's a great group. So I'm
yeah,
excited for you.
we are gonna release. We shot a trailer and like it's actually Alex sent me like edited a rough draft of it last night, and I'm so
Mhm.
excited to like share. Like I just want to show you the logo so bad. Like I had our guy Ezekiel or Ezekiel that makes our logos for Coffee and Chisme, make us a logo, and I'm so in love. Like, I want to like show everyone, but I can't. Like, I just want, like, we're waiting to drop it with the trailer, which the trailer should be dropping September 30th or October 1st. So, I'm so excited.
That's right around the corner, though.
Yes, I know. I'm so like, I just want to be like, Jaylee, tell me what you think. Oh, watch this. But I'm like, okay, we have to wait. We're gonna get there. And so that, and then I think I talked about it, but we're working on a Free Britney rally in the plaza.
Oh no, I didn't know.
No? Okay, well, we are for November.
Oh my God, that is awesome. With Megan?
Yes, I teamed up with Megan, and I teamed up with this nurse named Ashley, who's a huge Britney fan. And then Max, who runs a Free Britney Oklahoma account already. And we actually have a new girl, I think her name is Katie or Katie, who they're like, we reach out to the plaza. Rachel Leonhardt there is amazing, and has been working with us. So I can't remember the date right now, but it's coming in November. So I definitely like, I'll probably talk to you personally more about it if you want to be involved. But yes, and a new Free Britney documentary dropped last night out of nowhere on Hulu. Did you get to watch?
No, I went out last night a little bit, and then when I got home, I was like scrolling through Twitter, I think it was, and I saw that and I was like, oh, I'll have to watch that this weekend. But I was like so tired last night, so I didn't. But I was like, oh my God. Did you watch it?
Yeah, it was good. I really think they, like, her assistant Felicia talked and spoke out. She used to be her assistant. So it was a lot of people that were close to her who had NDNAs in place and are finally speaking. So it was a really good take on it. I'm curious to see Netflix's documentary because they've been announcing theirs. So I wonder if Hulu's like, we need to clap back right now with a documentary again, because they're the ones that released the original Framing Britney. This one's called Controlling Britney. So it's
the follow-up, right? Like it's like a sequel to it. Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, I guess this is a series that talks about stuff, because the episode before this one is about the two guys that created the Juul vape or whatever.
Yeah.
And so and then this is what the next episode is about. So very interesting stuff. It still breaks my heart. It breaks my fucking heart to see and hear every regulation and restriction that's been put on this woman. Like, it is so sad.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I'm excited to watch it, but I do think, like you said, Framing Britney, I think that really drew attention to the movement a lot. And then she spoke out soon after that. And so I know a lot of people shit on like the media and things like that, but also like, I think it's necessary. And I'm glad they're bringing some type of light to the issues that are going on with conservatorships and things like that.
And that's why I'm so excited about bringing this to Oklahoma. Oklahoma is not one of the states that has a lot of conservatorship abuse, but it is an issue that's important. I mean, I think this goes on to look at other issues like women's rights. Like, why does this woman not have autonomy over herself? Why, when she spoke up, people aren't like, oh my God, you're being abused, you're being trafficked, you know? Like, they even try to spin shit on her to make her look like the bad guy. Like, I don't know if you saw the article where they were like, she slapped her, or she like assaulted her assistant, or no, her I guess her housekeeper or someone.
Yeah.
And it turned out it was not even like the real story, but they were trying to make it look like Britney's like doing that. Like, it was like she like, then they were like, maybe she knocked the phone out of her hand. And this is the lady, I think, that had taken her dogs from her, which, hello, if you steal someone, like, take someone's things, dogs,
like, you're gonna react, right?
Well, and it's like, it's traumatic. Like, so then, and the funny thing is, they were trying to find ways to charge Britney with this assault case. And it's like, okay, so you tell me this woman who has no autonomy over her body, her life, or anything, like, y'all act like she can't do nothing, and like she's just like needs to be in a conservatorship. Now you're gonna take her into full accountability for like slapping a phone out of her sister, you know, housekeeper's hand. Like, oh, okay, now she has autonomy over herself. So ridiculous. Did you see Todrick Hall did come last night to Oklahoma City Pride?
No, I didn't. I honestly, I haven't been keeping up that Pride. The only reason I knew was because my job sent an email saying, don't forget it's Pride this weekend. But I think with like all of the drama going on that I was just, or just the issues, maybe not the drama necessarily, but the issues going on in that district.
Yes.
I didn't plan on supporting it. I saw a lot of my friends on Facebook going to it, but I was
like, really?
Yeah, like people that people I didn't think would, but also I also know that there are a lot of people that aren't as involved in the community like we've been, so I understand that they might not know why there were two different prides to begin with. So yes.
It becomes very divisive, and I do think, yes, I get it. People should celebrate Pride and be happy. That's cool. I don't like how this Pride has handled it on 39th Street. And I think actually one of the guests that's going to be on works with them because they do testing on 39th. But I know like a lot of my close friends were like, no, that Pride is not the one we want to support. There's a lot of underbelly, like bad stuff that they support. And so like, that's our personal choice, you know. And I did see Todrick Hall was there. It was packed because we actually thought about going just to see Todrick Hall and that's it. But it was at 11 p.m. And 2, it was like, when I watched the video this morning, it was packed. So that's scary, you know. And I actually have to be there today at 3 because Urban Pride reached out to Alex to ask if we could go promote Queer Fears on the main stage at 3 p.m. So I'm fucking terrified. I'm ready to shit myself. Like,
that's awesome though. I think it is. I think that it's going to draw, there's going to be, I mean, it is terrifying because there's going to be like a lot of people there, but I also think that's really good for like the project. Yeah,
I know. I'm just like, oh my God, Alex, and we don't even have Jizzy, who's like the personality, you know, like she's a drag queen. She can, you know, she's going to be out of town. So
like, oh my gosh. So, I think you guys will do great.
If I die, you know what happened.
Okay.
Had a heart attack.
Will do. I will definitely keep that in mind.
All right, y'all. So, Jay, what are you sipping on?
I'm just drinking some regular coffee. Nothing special today. What about you?
I made my supercharged coffee kind of like yours. It has oat milk, pumpkin spice oat milk from Trader Joe's, which is so delicious. It's new this year. It has Premier Protein, vanilla in it. It has some Arbonne pumpkin spice protein in it, powder, some fiber, and then some cold brew from Costco. And it is so good. So I'm loving it.
Oh yeah, I'll have to try that cold brew from Costco.
Yeah, it comes in a little can. It's a Kirkland cold brew in a can.
Oh, I'll have to buy that today. Yeah. That sounds yummy.
Yes. All right, y'all. So stickers, we actually need to get, I totally forgot to get them from you, and I need to send those out to some people. But we have stickers available, y'all. Please, these are fire. I actually need to get some from you too to put them on my stuff because I've been needing to put some up. Stickers are $3 a piece, 5 stickers for $11. You're gonna look fly, you're gonna look sexy, so why wouldn't you do it? Send us a message. You know how to contact us. If you're our friends, if you're listening, it's all in the show notes. You can message us on Instagram. You can message us on our email address. YouTube, it's
a work in progress.
Work in progress. So keep those eyes
we're there. We have subscribers, which is cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all, you're so beautiful. We love you. We'll show you our boobs if you subscribe.
I will not show anyone my boobs.
Girl, you gotta give them a fake boob, John.
Oh my God.
Squeeze your chest and go like this.
I have to like lift up.
Oh.
It's awful.
Yeah,
it's sad.
We'll show you something special.
We'll show you something.
Our elbows. In some countries, the elbow is the sexiest part.
Yeah. We'll show. Yeah, I agree. I love some elbows.
Or Ludacris, what is it? Throwing bows. Do you not know that song?
No.
Yes, it's like
maybe Ludacris. I do know that song.
Throwing bow. I'm gonna find it.
I don't know.
All right, speak pipe, y'all. Please send us a voicemail. We love hearing from you, and so many of you already like, I love this episode. Put it in a message. Just ask us a question. Confess something dirty and sexy. Halloween's coming. Send us a message and tell us what your favorite horror is, what you're going to dress up as. We want to hear from you. This is this is not just about us. This is about y'all. We like love hearing from y'all. We've met some amazing friends and connected with amazing people through this. So keep it up. Go to speakpipe.com/coffee. That's it. Just go to that. Go on there right now. What are you doing right now? Stop what you're doing. Go to www.speakpipe.com/coffee and say, hey, Albs, Jay, you know what? This is my confession. And leave us one.
It's like the Usher song.
Yeah. He confessed that whole shit that turns into an album. You don't know where you're going to go with it. And also, lastly, buy us a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/coffee and spelled out Chisme. All of this is in our show notes, so you don't even have to write it down. You just go to the episode, click on the link, and you can sponsor our next coffee. And we will plug you, whatever you want, whatever project you're working on. Cool. Hey, maybe Queer Fears will donate some coffees. We'll see.
Yeah.
So that's it, y'all. Keep up with us, please.
Yeah. So let's move on to some of our current events. So this week, the past few days, I guess this week, whatever. The Gabby Petito case has been super like everywhere. I honestly have been obsessed, which I had like, it's been a really interesting case. Our friend Erica got me into true crime a few weeks ago. And so as I was getting into true crime, this case happened, and then I just went down a rabbit hole. And it was very interesting. So if you don't know, which I'm sure you do know, she was road tripping or going across the country with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, who is on the run, and he is actually wanted. They're trying to arrest him because he used her credit card and stuff. So definitely keep an eye out wherever you are, I guess. But she was missing. He came back from the road trip or whatever without her. In the beginning, when she was reported missing, didn't want to cooperate with cops, lawyered up, the whole deal. Then they found her body, and now he's on the run. So that's pretty much that. Her funeral is actually tomorrow.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Are you going?
Yeah, actually I am. I'm going. I think it's very interesting that her case got so much attention. I mean, it's great, right? Like, we always want these cases to have that attention, but it's kind of also upsetting that it seems like it is that whole missing white woman syndrome, and we have so many people of color that are missing. I want to say his name was Jalen Day. He was missing.
Is that the geologist?
No, this was another guy, and he was missing. The parents were told they found a body that matched their DNA. They did not let them ID the body. It's been 3 weeks now that obviously he's gotten attention because people were mad that he didn't have attention, because he disappeared around the same time that Gabby did. Now they're letting the parents ID, like now, when they've known this since the beginning of September. So there's still that geologist guy that you were talking about. I was listening to a podcast a few weeks ago before all of this went down with Alicia Navarro. She's still missing. She went missing 2 years in 2019. She is a Latinx woman, I believe. I don't remember. She might be Native. Oh, I can't remember. I think Latinx though, because it's like her mom's Hispanic. And so she was autistic. She was 12 years old. It seems like somebody from the internet probably lured her out of her house, and she has been missing since. Yeah. So there's just a lot of people of color missing. So we need to bring that same energy to our people of color, because their lives are just as important as a white person's life.
And that's exactly my big issue with it. Like, I'm not mad that Gabby has attention. That's cool. But here's the reality. People go missing every fucking day. Like, it's ridiculous the numbers of people that actually do go missing. It is like, and I'm not going to just say it's a race thing, but you know what? It is a race thing. Think about it. Like, when you are bringing this energy for someone that's white, but not someone that's a person of color, Indigenous women are literally murdered. Yeah. Go missing. No one does shit. Like, that's been going on for years, and no one does anything. This YouTuber literally only had like 2,000 views on a video. She's not like a huge celebrity, So it's like, why? And I get it. So it's very hard to put all this energy behind every single person that goes missing. But like, let's remember, Vanessa, I'm going to butcher her name, Vanessa Guillen, got murdered on a base and went missing. And it took everything for her parents to keep fighting to like get an investigation and like finally justice. I mean, I don't know justice because she died, you know, but like they got some kind of like closure from the whole thing. But like Breonna Taylor, she literally was murdered innocently and nothing got done. Her killers got off. And like, you know, I think, was it Stacey Owen said some shit about the missing white syndrome, women syndrome. And then she was like, but when a man like George Floyd gets all the attention, and I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because like, it's ridiculous. Like, this is not acceptable for people to die, go missing, and people not do anything. And it's like, there's so many people of color that this happens to, straight up.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole episode on like this topic, because it's the more as I got into true crime, I realized like it really brought to light to me like how many people of color go missing and certain situations. I did want to talk about Lauren. I think her name was Lauren Cho. She actually went missing around the same area as Gabby Petito. But the interesting thing there is that she was seen, the last time she was seen, she was going into Olivia Wilde's ex-husband's Airbnb. That's not talked about enough. She is like, I guess he owns an Airbnb and that's where she was going. And then they never found her footsteps leaving the place.
Shit.
So I think that like she is a woman of color and nobody talks about it. So I would definitely want to talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah. That's fucked up. Yeah. All right, we don't have all the time in the world, so we're gonna try to get through these, y'all, because we have some amazing guests. So, real quick, I just wanted to shine light on the Haitian refugees at the border. I think it was the Texas border. I don't know if y'all saw the pictures that came out, but these fucking border patrol people on horses to these refugees were whipping them with whips, like. What the fuck? How are you doing this to these refugees that are fleeing their country because of violence, because fear for their life? Like, and y'all are just gonna whip these people like we're back in fucking slave times? Like, no, that is not acceptable. Where is Biden? Where's Kamala? Like, why aren't these things being addressed? Like, I know Texas does whatever the fuck they want, and Texas thinks they can do like whatever with human rights, but that is not acceptable.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like, I mean, the same way we criticize Trump for his shit, I think that Biden needs to address it, you know, like it's not just, and they haven't, which is like the weird and most annoying thing is that I haven't seen anyone say anything other than it's inhumane. Like their secretary, or whatever, their press secretary said that. And like, I'm just like, that's not enough. Like, you know, but I don't know. This country just needs to get it fucking together because we as a whole just need to do better.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next topic. So I didn't read up on this all the way because I felt like I might get irritated at the comments people were might comment on it or whatever. But a couple and a child got kicked out of a restaurant for wearing masks. So they were wearing a mask because obviously, you know, their child is not vaccinated. And, you know, as a parent, you try to protect your children as best you can. I think that's such bullshit, you know, like I felt like people might just be like, oh, well, if you're, you know, not wanting to wear a mask, then you're going to get kicked out just because, you know, that's just how people are.
Well, the thing that I didn't like about that situation, and like, I'm not trying to like take sides with the restaurant, but like, why in the world are you taking your child that is autoimmune compromised to a restaurant? You know, like that was the situation. Their child is autoimmune compromised, and so that's why they were really scared. So they took her to this restaurant. They took their child to this restaurant, and no one was wearing a mask, and they got kicked out. So if I went in, I knew my child was autoimmune and compromised, then I would be like, hell no, I'm not going in here, and I'm not putting my child at risk. No one's wearing a mask in here, and then you get kicked out. So like, I don't think it's okay they did that to them, but I'm just thinking, if my child was the one, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I don't know. I don't know who to side with, because yes, like I agree, like if your child is autoimmune compromised, probably not a good idea to take them out in public. But it
Like you didn't
also,
take your kids anywhere when COVID started, you know, like you were very
yeah,
like, I'm good, I'm not taking them. And
yeah.
like your kids are pretty healthy, you know, like they're not like,
Hmm.
there's no like autoimmune compromise situation that you're aware of, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't, but that's hard too, though, because I think kids are being robbed of these experiences because adults aren't responsible. And so I can definitely see with the parents. Like we go out with the kids a little bit more now, but it's like
But how
if
safe do you feel in a place where no one's wearing a mask? If you walk in and no
right,
one's wearing
we
a mask,
leave. Like we're
right,
just like, I don't wait to get kicked. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know who to side with, because we would just be like, we've been in that situation where
right.
it's just like, okay, well, no one's wearing a mask, we're gonna go. Like that's it. So
Yeah.
it's just I'm over
Yeah,
it.
no, and I just want to make clear, I do not side with the restaurant, period, because they should not have fucking kicked them out. Because if you can make a no mask mandate, then you should have a mask mandate. You know,
Right.
like, no.
Yep. Yep.
So I wanted to really just shine a little light on Paquita del Barrio at the Latin Billboard Awards. She shined. She got an award. I don't know what the honor was, but like this woman is like the most like, she does not look like a celebrity. Like she's so like humilde and
No.
like I mean she sings about like cheating men and like how
Yeah.
trash they are. And so like Bad Bunny helped her on the stage. He was such a gentleman. And like she was hanging out with Carol G. She was hanging out with all these celebrities, and like Daddy Yankee, the Black Eyed Peas. She was just on living her fantasy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm excited. I like her a lot. She does not age, that's for sure. Her energy, I feel, remains the same. I was watching it, I think they were on TikTok. Not like she wasn't on TikTok, but I was watching some old videos of her on TikTok. And it was just so funny.
Yeah.
So moving on to our, I guess, segment with our guests this week. It's a little bit different than our past few episodes. But what we're gonna do is we have some amazing people from the Latinx community. And we're gonna just chat with them a little, get to know them a little bit, have you guys see what it's like, look at life through the eyes of someone who is Latinx, and see how we all can be so different and learn about other people's, opinions and whatever and whatnot. So I'm excited, and I really hope you all enjoy listening to our different guests today.
Yes, me too, because we have people from different generations and
Mm-hmm.
different areas of life. Yeah, so I'm excited.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and have our first guest introduce herself and tell you who she is and what she does.
Okay.
Hi.
My name is Marti Rickman, and I'm from Colombia. I've been in the United States since 1985. I'm owner of Clips and Hips, my American dream. It's a shop where I cut hair and I teach dance.
Oh,
I
that's
have
awesome.
this.
Yes, I've heard about you in our community a lot. I've never been honored to watch one of your shows, but I'm excited. I hope to see and catch one of your shows soon.
Yes. Well, since it's the Hispanic month, this is I think the most busiest. I think everybody's celebrating it, but it's good. I mean, it's very good. It just, for me, it's like, oh my God, like today I'm dancing at the fair one, even dancing at the parking lot of Camden City High School.
Oh,
nice.
Yes, it's a deal called Amistad.
Is that today?
Today. Well, it starts at 11.
Okay.
Oh, I might have to go to that one.
Yeah, and then I think it lasts until 5. I'm dancing at 4.
4? Okay.
It's gonna be vendors, and it's gonna be lots of things.
Cool. Yeah, and so I just want to add a little bit more to it, because Marti is like literally such an important pillar of la comunidad like Latina here in Oklahoma City. Like I had heard about Marti for so long before I even knew who she was. Like everyone's like, Marti does this, Marti does that. And like literally Marti brings la cultura to Oklahoma. And what I love too is like you said, you're Colombiana. And a lot of people always think like Mexicanos, but it's like there's so many other people that are part of la comunidad and are doing so much that aren't Mexicanos, you know, like Jaylee and I are both Central American too, and we're like, we need to shine light on all aspects of la comunidad.
Exactamente. Yeah, and that's why I love what I do, because through dance I can share that with people and show that yes, it's other cultures here. I'm having an event October 8th, and that's going to be at the Cis Hotel Park, and it's called Fiesta Celebration. And through dance, we're going to show culture, different colors, different dresses from different countries. Hispanic, I'm Arab, but it's Venezuela, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Bolivia. Wow, casi todas.
Nice.
It's going to be wonderful. It's from 5 to 10, and we're going to show Oklahoma that there's more people here.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations on being so booked up.
Marti, my question for you, Marti, is what advice do you have for young Latinx people here in Oklahoma?
Dime otra vez. Tell me that.
What advice do you have for young Latinx people here in Oklahoma?
Well, just always, ¿cómo te dijera? Lo digo en español, en inglés.
However you want, como usted quiera.
Sí, ¿verdad? No, pues que nunca se olviden de sus raíces. Don't forget your roots, where you come from. But of course, as parents are the ones that, but si tus padres te enseñan, o sea, que como que dejen una legacy, ¿no? Que te lo mira, como te muestro aquí las niñas que se están alistando para la feria, bailar nuestros bailes, y que estén envueltas en cosas positivas. Do positive things, and of course, dance. It's very positive, and they stay away from otras cosas.
Yeah.
But,
that's pretty awesome. Like I really believe 100% everything she says, and it is such a beautiful message to just have ourselves embrace our cultura, because a lot of people are ashamed of their cultura, and and it's hard. And we've shared that similar experience where like we're not embarrassed, but like people almost make you like feel bad because you're not Latina enough, or you're too white, and so. Yeah. I love Marti, and I'm going to try to go see her. I did not know she was dancing today. So.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah, I'm excited. I've heard a lot of great things about her too. So I'm excited. Right. So our next guest is someone who I have had the pleasure to meet once, and we had like a very quick dinner. So I'm excited to know a little bit more about you, Cristina. I've heard so many great things. So yeah, I'm excited to have you. Do you mind sharing with our guests a little about you and what you do?
Claro que sí. My name is Cristina Rivera. I was born in Mexico, Ciudad Juárez, and I came over. My parents were immigrants, worked on the field, went to Northwest, graduated at SNU. And right now what I really do is community work, outreach. I'm with Sandwiches with Love with Jessica, and we feed the homeless. I also am embarking in my own nonprofit, and so that's in the works. It's IRL, it's In Rooted Love, gearing to the elderly community, especialmente los Latinos, and it'll be servicing them in translation with things that they need, resources. So I'll be looking out for that, and we're working on the website that's In Rooted Love.
Oh,
that's
I love
awesome.
That.
Yes, the elderly need so much love and support in our comunidades, and it's just a population people forget about all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. So, what has been the best advice that you have gotten from your parents?
The best advice is, oh my gosh, you caught me in the loop. I think the best advice is really just own up to your mistakes and learn from them. your past is a learning tool for the future. So don't ever forget where you came from. Y échale ganas.
Love that. What do you think? So as a Latina, you know, Jay and I have often spoken about our struggles, finding our identity in the community. What would you say for you personally has been the biggest struggle as a Latinx person?
Oh my gosh, it's the concept that we have to stay with one identity. Like, we are forever evolving. Estamos creciendo, estamos reconociendo nuestros errores como comunidad. Like, we're understanding our mistakes, because we come with a lot of like implemented traditional stuff. And as we grow and we learn, and our parents no nacieron con un librito o con theories of how to be good, you know, parents. So there's humbleness and grace that I offer to my parents, but also my children offer to me, because they're educating me about verbs and nouns and all of this. And I consider myself queer, and even that, I was like, you know, my kids are schooling me and recognizing that que si yo le echo una pedrada a mi mom porque no entiende, porque, oh my God, todavía quiere esto y esto y esto, she doesn't understand boundaries. O sea, I have to be also, when my kids are like, yo ma, no quiero el besito dos veces, did you ask for permission? Wait, you know, so there's like this generational thing. So looping back around is, give me that question again, because I think I went off script. I don't think I answered your question.
No, you did. Like, one of the biggest struggles growing up as a Latinx person, you know?
Okay, yes. Yeah. And it's one of those things ever evolving. Like, okay, so how not to be like stuck in this, I have to own this, or everybody's doing this, I have to show up this way. No, you show up authentically, unapologetically you, and be happy with who you are y como eres.
Yeah, and you know, one thing I'll add to that too, that makes me think of is, we oftentimes, I think for like white people or people outside of the comunidad Latina, they see us for our traumas. And I think that's very common with a lot of people of color. People see us only for our traumas. Oh, your parents were illegal. You went through this, you went through that. And it's like, yes, that did happen and it shaped us. But I think we need to learn to push beyond all those generational traumas, those curses that we carry, our parents carried, you know, and understand that we are the ones setting boundaries to move forward. You know, like you were saying, we have to be the ones to teach our parents, like, hey, ma, if my child does not want to see those family members, if my child doesn't want to like go and hug everyone in the room, I know we did that growing up, but it's okay. This generation's different. We have autonomy over our body and we have boundaries. We have consent. That's not something our families were ever taught. Like, you were like, I know a lot of people that grew up in our cultura that my tío was a pervert and he would like touch on the kids. But when there was a party, oh, go say hi to your tío. And the child would be like, no, I don't want to. Parents didn't understand that.
Preach. And at the same token, also elevate the positives. Elevate the positives, the community, the unity, como la familia, we tying together. I mean, there's positives to our culture and who we are in general. So it's keeping it a balance. I'm learning that as we speak. My kids are biracial, so really honoring both sides, all the sectors that they come into. So it's awesome. This month is awesome. Learning and growing together and just being who we are.
Love it. Thank you so much for your time. We will definitely have to loop around at some point and get you on a future episode where we can talk much longer about so many other things, but you've been such a pleasure and we look forward to hearing more from you.
Gracias. Bye,
Gracias,
chicos.
Cristina.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, so that was awesome. Now we have another guest coming on, and I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves because they are amazing. So welcome.
Thank you so much, guys. Hi, my name is Andy Gonzales. I am a Latina trans Hispanic woman, and I grew up in Clinton, Oklahoma. I am 30, maybe 31. I stopped counting after 28. Like, it just gets a lot confusing.
Love it.
I also work at Guiding Right. What I do is I am a linkage coordinator, and we test people for HIV and STIs in the LGBT plus community, but we don't just cater to LGBT, we cater to everybody. And as a linkage coordinator, if you are positive for HIV, I do link you up to the right doctors and resources, and just kind of like am with you the entire process and just make it a little bit easier for you and how to navigate. And then we also offer PrEP for those who are wanting to get on it for free. And yeah, we just try to do some good work.
Love that. It's so important. And I love the fact that, like, you know, you are a Latinx person in the community, because it is important for us to see people like us being represented, you know, especially in the ones that are providing services that are so vulnerable and oftentimes can be pretty hard to like accept, you know, because we are a community with so much pride that we just need someone to be like, hey girl, I got you. I'm a Latina woman, and I know like the struggles you're going through, so let me be there for you.
Exactly, 100%. I literally just had this conversation with a different organization, and like yeah, the stigma and the struggle behind it and the pride behind it, it's just like, well, LGBT people are here also, and we're Latin too, so like, yeah.
I really would like to ask you, like, so, you know, in our cultura, there's a lot of toxic machismo, and as a person that is trans, how would you say like the community has been receptive towards you in your transition, in your journey in life? Like how would you describe that?
So in what I call in, you know, like our community, as like the LGBT community, I feel like it's a little more accepting versus when I go to like my family or like family functions, or, you know, go to a funeral, and then it's kind of accepting, not 100%. But I will say, being like a trans woman, it's almost like, you know how you're taught to like, oh, don't look at them or don't talk to them because they're different or whatever it is, and just act like they're not here. That's exactly the 100% attitude that I get from like from people in the Latin community when they know about me and know that I'm trans. So it's just, it may seem that they're accepting, but it's more of like let's just not pay attention to this person.
It's kind of like the way we treat problems in our families, right?
Yep.
Sweep it under the rug. Just don't pay attention. If you don't look at it, if you don't realize it's not there, right? And that's just so ignorant. Like, I don't understand. I was just talking about this last night. I was like, I don't understand how people don't realize that is ignorant and how that is traumatic for people, like to be ignored.
Oh my God. Yes. And sometimes we do it to our children, and it's just kind of like it's almost like you desensitize that child of having that love and compassion.
Right. Well, I think even, you know, and I've talked to Jay about this before, like even when I first came out, in my family was like accepting, like my immediate family. But it was one of those things we didn't talk about it. It was like, well, Albert, that's Albert. Like, it would never be like, Albert, so are you dating anyone? Like, nothing. There was no like depth
no one would
to
talk
our
about
conversations. No. And so like that was it. And so like, but like now, like obviously like I'm in a relationship, and so it's like there's more conversations. And like even I find like having to push my narrative of like, hey, I'm gonna get married. Like this is gonna be a thing, and it's gonna be a guy. So like we have to push that like narrative forward of like, hey, I'm normalizing this. And so like, and I know our families oftentimes don't do it because of like they want to hurt us. They just, like Jay said, it's been like generations of like, let's sweep it under the rug. And if we don't talk about it, maybe it just won't exist, you know?
100%. Yeah, like even like, and I get it, like she's my mom and I love my mom, but sometimes she'll like misgender me, and like sometimes I'll let it go, but other time I'm just like, hey, it's she and her. Let me refresh your memory. And then she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, like I'm trying to get it down. And I'm like, it's fine. But but yeah. I have to like almost normalize it still to them.
Yeah. So my question for you is, what is one comfort food from our culture that is like your favorite?
Everything.
I know.
It's so funny. I just told my boyfriend the other day, I'm just like, I just love good rice and beans with tortillas and like it
and
just
some
like
queso fresco with like a little bit of sour cream. That's it for me.
Yeah, I have to have some plátanos with it too, because I love me plátanos. Like my mom's making some right now, and I'm like, I'm about to go tear up these plátanos.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so good.
Oh my gosh.
It literally is just like the perfect comfort food. It's just like it reminds me of my childhood, and like my boyfriend was like, "Oh, have you never had Happy Meals growing up?" I'm like, "No, I had rice and beans with tortillas growing up. Like, what was a Happy Meal?"
Right, like we didn't have McDonald's money. Like this is not what we did.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. I don't think we've met before, but my name is Jaylee, and I was excited. I'm excited to learn more about you.
Yes, Andy, we definitely want to have you on in the future for more episodes. You know what's actually crazy? I think I met you a long time ago when I first moved here, and you would hang out with I was talking to this guy back in the day, like Christopher, I think his name was Chris Eccles.
Really tall Chris, I believe Christopher
Eccles, maybe.
Oh yes, I know who you're talking about. Yes.
So like that's how I think we kind of like we never talked really, and like that was like 12 years ago. So like I'm really glad that this is kind of like a full circle moment, you know, because I think it was literally back then was like Paris, you, Christopher, like, and I used to go out all the time then. So like I'm not that person anymore, but like I'm old and tired now. So but I am so excited. Like I've heard so many great things about you from Jizzy, and I think that, you know, you're a really awesome person, and like keep pushing yourself forward, and don't be apologetic. Like do what you want. You're an amazing advocate in the community, and that's what we need. So we will definitely have you on in the future and get into some more deeper things and talk it out.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right, you have a good one.
Bye.
So our next guest is currently in Texas, and I just want to welcome Ivan. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hola, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Iván Guevara Delgado. I live here in Dallas, Texas. I was born here in Texas. I currently work for a pharmacy in healthcare, and I've been pushing healthcare for the Latinx community. I work with several organizations, clinics, and different teams that I've been pushing myself to get into, so the Latino community, the Hispanic community can have education, healthcare assistance, and just overall the LGBT community can know what we actually offer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty important. You know, healthcare is an area where a lot of Latinx people don't necessarily engage. So I'm glad that, you know, it's always nice to have representation to make that transition so much smoother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Correct. Or usually being Latino, Latina, Latinx is scary. It's very scary going to healthcare. You know, we like our tortillas, we like our food. Until we actually feel sick, we are like, oh, high cholesterol or diabetes, or we don't want to get blood either, you know. So either way, like our grandma's like, stop drinking Coke. My grandma still drinks Coke and she's 90 something, and the doctor's like, stop. So just being Latino, you know, it's just hard for us because it's our culture.
Yes.
Big time.
Yes. Would you like to go first, Albert?
Yeah, I'll jump into it. So actually, you kind of led me into my first question. So for you, you know, there's all these words that people throw around. There's Latino, Latinx, Hispanic. What like terminology do you like to use? What do you know, like kind of what's your comfort level with each of them, or yeah?
I think we're all used to saying Latino, Latina, Hispano, Hispana. Right now in the world that we live in, a lot of us don't want to be categorized just one specific category, or I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong terminology. Just overall, we want to be ourselves. We want to be someone that doesn't specify us as a certain group. If you have sexual preference, if you want to be known as your pronouns, and depending. So I try to educate people, and I'm still getting educated too. That's why I do apologize if I say something that's not correct. You know, it's just the lack of education that I think we all have, and that we're still trying to learn. So I try to use them best as I can. Say Latinx. Like here, I'm currently at Latino Pride, Texas. I try to help them and try to inform them, you know, I think it sounds better if you say Latinx, so no one's excluded from it. You know, pronouns is very important when you meet someone. Say, are you he, him, she, you know, depending what they want to be called, or just understanding them. Our community is getting bigger. Our younger generation, they teach me stuff too. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine calling you whatever you want. You know, let's just help you. You know, we're here to help. We're here to learn.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think sometimes it is like that lack of education and not knowing, and really being open to new things is important, because like you said, people in our communities are growing and learning to be more themselves and stuff. So yes. What did you feel was your biggest struggle as a Latinx person?
My biggest struggle in Latinx person, I would take it all the way back. So I am LGBT community. I guess it was being Latinx, being gay, trying to come out, and then just helping others. So, you know, coming out was a struggle because our culture is not used to it, lack of education to, you know, when I came out, a lot of people don't know this, but, you know, my mom thought I was like probably selling myself, or I was a stripper kind of stuff. Like she would tell me that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, just because I'm like this, it's not it, you know. And then just being Latino, they didn't understand why or what's my future like. And, you know, they expected me to get married, get kids. I'm like, I can still get married, I can still have kids, you know, it's just your sexual preference or whatever you want, you know.
Yeah.
It's like them wanting a concha de vainilla or concha de chocolate, you know, it's just your preference.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Yeah.
And then just being Latino, the struggle is also, you know, finding healthcare where you want to feel comfortable, where you find a doctor that understands your LGBT, or you're just like, feel welcome because you want to speak Spanish. So my first language is Spanish. I've learned English till I was in 3rd grade. Full classes of elementary school was 6th grade. But right now, yo hablo más español. Lo entiendo un poquito más. Me ayuda a la comunidad, just being there.
Yeah.
And it's, I think we're all used to living here. We've talked Spanglish. But I think that's a struggle, just growing up and finding healthcare too, where you feel comfortable and educating others. I have other friends that when I start talking about sexual education or healthcare, they're like, I did not know that. I did not know about PrEP. I did not know where to get tested. There's free places where you can get tested and get treatment. You want PrEP to get free. You don't need a social security number. You know, you could be here and just get treatment. You just need to ask. So I think that's just the struggle here, just actually educating people and helping them out, younger generation, older generation, not just in healthcare, just overall, and being themselves and supporting our community.
Yeah. I think.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, you spoke something to me, like when you said your mama was like, you know, you're gonna be a stripper, you're selling yourself. That is so true, because you know, and even like when I came out, like anytime a queer person was represented on TV, it was like a promiscuous person. It was a someone that had AIDS, and like, so all these negative stereotypes, like of course a Latina madre is gonna like go to the worst, because they want to protect their babies. Like that's my mom. Like she's like, no me importa que seas gay, pero me importa lo que va a decir la gente, cómo te van a tratar. And so like they want to just protect you. And so like my mom's like, tienes que mejorar tu educación para que seas el mejor, te tienes que vestir mejor que la otra gente, like, para que así nadie te vea como menos. And so like, that's the mentality of them. It's like, I don't want you being any of those negative stereotypes, so I want you to be the best and not those stereotypes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, I was like, your stories sound, you know, pretty similar. And even so I identify as pansexual, but I don't think I feel very privileged in that because I don't think I mean, even now I don't really talk to my mom about it, but I did have the privilege of not having to talk to her about it, but being a person that has seen, I agree with you, Albert, that the people that represent the LGBTQ plus community are always people that are like, that it's not even actual representation. And that is scary to our parents. And that's understandable, but it's also like they exclude you, they make you feel a certain way. And so it's like,
or they think quieres ser una mujer, like you're gay, so you want to be a woman. You're like, no, that's so different. Like that's not what gay means, you know? And so
yes.
So my next question for you, Ivan, is share with us some Latinx brands like you recommend, whether like there's some products you use that are Latinx or you support. Just go ahead and share with us what some of those brands are.
The ones that I support?
Yeah, like do you have any products you use that are specific, like your go-to that are 100% Latinx owned?
That's a hard one because it's hard to find Latinx owned businesses, I feel.
No. I like shopping in Mexico when I go or find something online like clothes. I'm like, ooh, I can ship it here. So I think that's it. But it's just really hard because depending on your size or depending how you can return it if you don't like it and stuff like that. I think that's it. But products here in the United States, I think it's just hard. You just have to go somewhere Mexican local that you can find them. So I don't know. That is a good question. You make me think. I need to go home and check my stuff. Be like, sometimes you think it's Mexico, and it literally says it comes from a different place. You're like, oh, okay. I was like, but my abuelita uses this. I didn't know that.
I'm gonna just go ahead and plug one that I like. I don't like always buy them. I've had some of their products, and they're great. It's called Brujita Cosmetics, and it's I think they're Latinas out of California, and they're all like products based around like a bruja aesthetic, and they're just so good. They're natural, they're amazing, so check it out. And Jaylee is a Latinx business owner as well. She sells t-shirts, so if anyone listening needs a t-shirt, Jay, give them a little bit about your product.
Oh, you're so sweet. I knew you were gonna do that too. I was like, so I have a small t-shirt shop. I focus more on making content for the Latinx community. So they're more bilingual and more statement tees. I also do custom stuff like the one I'm wearing right now. So just a little bit about my business, I guess.
What is it called?
Oh, it's called JDW Creates. That's probably some good information. So Ivan, what is some of the best advice you've gotten from your parents?
Best advice, well, me and my dad, sadly, but I feel like we don't speak. I feel like we should, but we don't speak. We don't have that communication. At least he doesn't have it with me. He has it with my sister and my younger brother. But the way he's taught me growing up is just help others and keep helping them with whatever you can. If you have $1, if I think I need that $1, but someone else needs it more than me, just help them. God's going to give you bigger blessing. My mom, she's always there for me. I think your moms will always be there for me. At least for me, she is. So I thank God for that. Keep doing what I do. Sometimes she doesn't understand what I literally do, or when she sees like my trunk full of condoms, she's like, and I'm like, it's for work. We provide free condoms to the community, and people just needs to use them to be protective. But she enjoys when she sees my certificates or me doing meetings. Currently, this is my first podcast. When I have meetings with the Mexican consul, they gave me recognition because it was our first LGBT meeting. So the Mexican consul can understand, and Mexico can understand what is LGBT and the struggle that we face being here as immigrants or being here as en el exterior, being here citizens. They just want to know what the struggle is so they can start fixing that in the council. So it's just keep doing whatever you're doing if you're doing great for the community, and not give up. If you like what you do, not give up. So
yes,
I think that's what my parents have shown me.
That's awesome.
Oh, go ahead, Albert.
Oh, I was gonna ask the next question. Did you have something you wanted to say before that?
Mm-mm.
All right. My final question for you is, what is your Latinx comfort food?
Elaborate on that. Let me think.
Yeah, whenever you say you had a long day and you're like, I just need to eat some good comida latina to make me feel better. What is your go-to dish?
My go-to dish is usually, I could say some enchiladas.
Oh yeah.
Some enchiladas, or if you really had a long day, you just want to have well, sometimes maybe if it's a Friday, it's like, you know what, let me just have some kind of mariscos, and I'll probably get a michelada on the side.
Yes.
That usually it's not too full, but for dinner, it calms you down and you still get relaxed and you don't feel that full like fast food. So I think that would be it.
Yes.
Nice.
My last question is gonna be, who is a Latinx person that inspired you growing up?
Inspired me growing up.
Someone you looked up to.
That is hard. That is very hard. I think we all have a lot of people that have inspired all of us, our generation, in several ways, each one different. I mean, I remember watching Don Francisco Sábado Gigante every Saturday. So he inspired me little by little, just seeing the way he helped others. Hearing Selena, her music just inspires you to be out there. She wasn't scared in doing what she did. She did it, and she's big currently, even though she's not with us,
Yeah.
When we all watch, I guess, was it Mondays where Cristina would come out and in Chisme, we heard the Chismes. Right now, I'm trying to work with someone in Houston that she is amazing. I had a meeting with her Tuesday. Her name is Elia Chino. Amazing woman, amazing thing she does for the Latino community.
Cool.
So she's currently my inspiration. She doesn't know it, so hopefully she hears it, but she is amazing. I'm trying to help her grow and help more of the Latinx community. So I think just a lot of our past and currently that we start seeing people growing up inspire us little by little in little ways, mostly because here in the United States, it's hard to actually have that exposure.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. I'm excited to have you on, hopefully, on a normal podcast. And I appreciate you sharing so much with us today.
Yes, thank you so much. You were amazing.
Anytime we here, we could probably next time go get coffee and some pan dulce, and then we can actually have interactions with also different guests.
Yes.
I'm down. Thank you so much.
Well, good luck today at your Pride.
Yes, good luck.
No
Happy Pride.
You too. Happy Pride for you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun having so many different types of guests and listening to everyone's experience. You definitely killed it with the guests today, Albert.
Thank you. I know, I'm so excited. I posted and then people kept flooding me, so I had to be like, sorry, we already have 4. That's going to be challenging to try to get so many people, 4 people in that little period that we had just back to back. So yeah, we'll definitely hear more from each of those. They're all phenomenal. So I'm excited.
Yes. So we're going to move on to our word of the day. Oh my gosh. Our word of the day is la ojera, which means bag under one's eyes. I'm sure you can see mine right now. Yeah. Okay. So gotta use this in a sentence. Yo tengo ojeras muy grandes y me rub my eyes, so mi mascara se me puso en mis ojeras, so me miro como un zombie. There we go. I said that was very complicated, but I just said I have really bad eye bags today, and then I rubbed my eyes and my mascara got on my eye bag, so now I look like a zombie.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love that. Mis ojeras parecen como cuando voy de compras de Black Friday.
Oh my God.
I said my bags under my eyes look like when I go Black Friday shopping. So they're big.
I know, because we always go Black Friday shopping and we're
I
out
know.
till, oh my gosh.
I'm filling up those baggies with goodies. All right. Advice for the week. Shit. So many cool people on. Like, I feel very inspired. But I think kind of like what we talked with Cristina, and I think this is real for me, and I know, Jay, you probably, can really relate to this because you've been kind of dealing with it. But I think when it comes to our familias or acquaintances or extended families, please mind your own business. Let families raise their families how they need to raise them, whether that is out of protection or love. Sometimes I think in our cultura, our comunidad, or even just like in other people's culture, they want to like override parents and try to shame them for like not doing things the way they think they should be done. And it's like, no, this is my family. I want to keep them close. And I oftentimes feel there's so many people so concerned about how someone else is raising their kids that they do not look at how they're raising their own kids, because some people raise their kids and they are bad, but they are sure the first person to go and comment on the other person's parenting styles. And no tea, no shade. This is not anyone specific. And if you feel it is towards you, I'm sorry, that's on you. And that's something you got to work through then. But please don't. And I just can't stand for people trying to, this is direct, but I can't stand for people trying to drag other people on social media over something they feel some type of way where it probably wasn't even about them in the first place. And that's like one thing that bugs me, because I've had people do that in the past where I'll tweet something and they're like, oh, so you're going to talk about me? No, bitch, I'm going to talk about you to you if I need to. So if I'm addressing something, it's probably a lyric, or it's just I'm in a mood. Like some days I wake up like Cardi and I want to like say shit and it's not geared to nobody. But if you feel like it's geared towards you, then maybe it is for you if you want to take it on. But don't come for me, because if you have some issues, text me and say, hey, are we good? Like if we're good, we're good then, if I don't let the queen or king address you unless I need to, you will be addressed otherwise.
Right.
Thank you. That's my TED Talk for the day.
That's your TED Talk. Yeah, I've done enough talking about that. And I agree. I think people just like at the end of the day, like we all just need to mind our own business. Like it's not our place, And I think that's hard, right? Because like we do, as just human beings, like it's not possible to be completely unbiased and be completely not judgmental, but people have to recognize like you can have those thoughts and you're allowed to have thoughts, like that's not the problem, but don't bully someone, don't come at people just because they don't do things the way you want them to be done. Everyone is allowed to have their own stuff going on, especially in today's day and age when we're literally in the middle of a pandemic. And I mean, you just have to give other people grace, and really before you feel the need to talk about other people and almost like go for that, or go like just, look at yourself and be like, why am I taking this so personal? Like what am I going through that like I feel like this anger or this resentment or whatever? Like you got to address that with yourself. So. And
when they cross the boundary of attacking you personally because they feel some type of way, they are in the wrong. Because here's the problem. If I post something and you come for me and you're like, oh, you think you're a freedom fighter, and you just attacked me personally off of a status that might have not even been related to you, but you attacked me. So guess what? I'm going to clap back, bitch. So, and if you
I got called a freedom fighter for the people that don't know where Albert is getting that from.
Because Jay posted she wants to have boundaries with her kids. She's being called a freedom fighter. Like, the fuck? What is that? Some racist ass shit, like calling you a freedom fighter? And if you're listening to this and you feel the need to go run and talk about it and show this podcast to whoever the fuck you think you want to validate, please block me if you need to.
No, you're not blocked, remember? There's a reason why you're not blocked. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. I can't. But yeah,
we send much love to the rest of you. Don't let stupid shit get under your skin. Like, dust these haters off. Like, it's just stupid. Life is too stressful. Like, and when y'all create this drama for other people, you're creating more stress. Like, let us live our life. Let us do what we want with our own selves and our families. And that's it. Move forward. Life is too precious. Like, if you're going to hold a grudge and be mad over stupid shit, then you should stay mad at and do your own thing somewhere else.
Yeah.
I've given too much attention to this today. So anyways, Jade, do you want to lead us out?
Yeah, so don't forget that you can follow us on social media. We have Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and all of those are at Coffee and Chisme Podcast. Another reminder that you can find us on SpeakPipe and on Buy Me a Coffee, and those links will be in the show notes. Don't forget, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We always appreciate those reviews. If it is anything less than 5 stars, just keep it to yourself and work on finding out why it's not 5 stars. But yeah, you can find me at JAELYDW. Albert, where can they find you?
You can find me at mindyourdamnbusiness.com. No, Albs, that's ALBZ 86.
Yeah.
And it's been a pleasure.
Yes, it has. Thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you at the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.